What is up, YouTube? It is Johnny K Live. Today we're playing a new game. We're taking a break from Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion because I'm just too spooked out. So today we're playing the original walking simulator, Dear Esther. This is the landmark edition that came out earlier this year. This edition, I think, added more content, more voiceovers. I don't know if it actually made the island larger, but it added some Steam achievements, some other cool things, and I happen to really enjoy this game. So we're gonna give it a. Oh, look at this! Save by area. Director's commentary. I don't think we're gonna do that for this playthrough. I probably will play through again with director's commentary, but that seems like it's gonna be a whole lot of voiceover for you guys to listen to. Let's listen.
Dear Esther, the gulls do not land here anymore. I've noticed that this year they seem to shun the place. Maybe it's the depletion of the fishing stock driving them away. Perhaps it's me. When he first landed here, Donnelly wrote that the herds were sickly and their shepherds the lowest of the miserable classes that populate these Hebridean islands. 300 years later, even they have departed.
So we're here. We're on this island. And that's pretty much all the information we have. Spooky. You guys see that shadow? Let's investigate. You know, I think I'm gonna have to use the touchpad for this right now because my mouse is being super wonky. It's a lovely toilet area. I think I'm gonna have to probably find my other mouse for this full playthrough because you really do need a mouse or else you can't look around and thoroughly enjoy everything you're seeing here. So if it seems incredibly jerky like that, I apologize. Okay. Oh, some chemical formula there. Some kind of paint. I forgot that this game was actually spooky, but you know, I played it through years ago when it first came out, and I don't believe there were any actual monsters or any actual things that could hurt you or anything like that. So I'm hoping that's still the case in the Landmark Edition, because even though it's tense sometimes, I did manage to eventually just relax and enjoy the voiceovers and the ambiance that this game sets. So let's, up path, down path. Let's go the down path. Oh my gosh, this makes me, because it's actually in the middle of a snowstorm right now, in real life, this makes me just like, want it to be warm again, so I can be walking by the coast like this. So nice. What do you think, Ma? Nice? I wonder... We're trying again. I turned the mouse sensitivity all the way down, so hopefully that will reduce some of the abrupt head movements that I appear to be making here. This game in VR would be so cool. I don't know if it's picking, the sound is picking it up on this, but even just changing to walking on the sand, you can like slightly hear the crunch of sand as I walk on this. Very cool. It's a very cool game. But like I said before, it is generally described as a walking simulator. And I know in this game and subsequent games like it came out, there was a fair amount of debate. You know, is this even a game? Is it an interactive story? Is it just a walking simulator? Who would want that?
At night, you can see the lights sometimes from a passing tanker or trawler. From up on the cliffs, they are mundane. But down here, they fugue into ambiguity. For instance, I cannot readily tell if they belong above or below the waves. The distinction now seems banal. Why not everything and all at once? There's nothing better to do here than indulge in contradictions whilst waiting for the fabric of life to unravel.
Anyway, so as I was saying before that, um, yeah, what's the value of a game like this if it is even is a game? If they're, if you're not interacting with things or trying to solve, if you're not having some kind of goal or, if it's not purpose driven in any way, is it still the game if you're not actively accomplishing something? What are you actively accomplishing? And I think something in the sand here. Look at that. That's interesting. I feel like a lot of these shapes and clues, like if you have any background, like even those, like it looked like some kind of chemical atoms or something drawn on the walls back there in the house. Like I think if you had some background knowledge of some of these things, like it would probably even enhance your experience of this kind of a game. Um, I'd have to just Google it, but I think in
Dear
terms
Ester,
of hold on.
I found myself to be as featureless as this ocean, as shallow and unoccupied as this bay, a listless wreck without identification. My rocks are these bones, and a careful fence to keep the precipice at bay. Shot through me caves, my forehead a mount. This aerial will transmit into me so. All overexposed, the nervous system, where Donnelly's boots and yours and mine still trample. I will carry a torch for you. I will leave it at the foot of my headstone. You will need it for the tunnels that carry me under.
Okay, so far these voiceovers have been like a mixture of romantic longing and depressed. Can I go in this? I don't feel like I should go in that. Okay, it doesn't seem to want to let me in that. And I'm kind of glad because I'm not really ready to be in caves yet. I want to go see more of the outside of the island. So is that as far as I can go this way? Doesn't seem like these rocks are... Yeah, no, I think that's as far as I go. So we'll head back. But yeah, anyway, weighing in on, the value of these kind of games or interactive stories or, whatever you want to call them. I think they are still games in that they're an interactive media. You think about movies, television shows. It's all just a information and stimuli going into your brain. You don't interact with it. It's a set amount of, you can watch the same movie and over again. It's not going to change. You might, see different things. There's certain complex philosophical movies that you feel like, oh, I figure out something new every time I watch it. But it's not because the movie changed. It's just your experience of it. You're noticing things. Sorry, I thought I was something on the rock there. Noticing things change. Whereas in a game, you're actively interacting with it, and based on what you do, the game changes. Now, one could argue that some games that are purely, linear, and kind of play the same way, you play them regardless. Okay, well, that's the same thing every time. Is that not a game then by that criteria? But I think it still is because you have... Is that... Sorry, I'm just trying to keep my bearings of where I am here. I think up. I think up is the only option I have here. Even if a game is super linear, like, I feel like even this game, you go to different areas to get different voiceovers, but ultimately you go to the same main locations. But there's some level...
book had not been taken out from the library since 1974. I decided it would never be missed as I slipped it under my coat and avoided the librarian's gaze on the way out. If the subject matter is obscure, the writer's literary style is even more so. It is not the text of a stable or trustworthy reporter. Perhaps it is fitting that my only companion in these last days should be a stolen book written by a dying man.
Was there a book or something I should have picked up? I don't remember this game having items or things that you pick up or collect. But I think now this edition with the Landmark edition with Steam achievements does involve some collectible collection, but I don't recall because I didn't look that closely. again, as I was saying, even linear games like this one do have some level of
When
interaction.
someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath.
Oh, that right there.
You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boats, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts.
Okay.
My lines are just for this: to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
That was ominous. Infection. Look at that little area down there. Alright, so I want to go down there. I want to get up to that hill. I'm realizing that, you know, my thoughts for this playthrough, this is going to have to be several episodes. This is I don't know. I mean, I don't want to rush through this game. But it's going to be several episodes. Look at that down there. That's cool. But I wanted to just kind of talk about this as a video game, but also like kind of the nature of video games and some of the...
We are not like Lot's wife, you and I. We feel no particular need to turn back. There's nothing to be seen if we did. No tired old man parting the cliffs with his arms. No gifts or Bibles laid out on the sand for the taking. No tides turning or the shrieking gulls overhead. The bones of the hermit are no longer laid out for the taking. I have stolen them away to the guts of this island, where the passages all run to black, and where we can light each other's faces by their strange luminescence.
Strange. Kind of like, I don't know, I feel like each of these is kind of beautiful in a way, but also kind of ominous. Does that make sense? What was that noise? And as I'm sure you're realizing, any long thought commentary on my part is going to be difficult with the, what is that noise? It's like wood on wood. Like dry sticks banging. Or like a door that was, like a wood door that was left open or something. What's that? What is that? It's got numbers on it. I don't know. But yeah, so I think that's going to be kind of the general topic I have for this playthrough. It's gonna, like I said, it's going to be several episodes because I don't want to...
Dear Ester,
Hold on.
I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
Alright, so I've got a ship here and a cave there. I think I'm going to call this episode here. Next time, we're going to go in that cave and meet Paul. I don't know. I don't remember there being any people on the island last time I played, but I guess we'll see. There's the lighthouse, so I just started over there. So I didn't go too far, but I went a big roundabout, and I want to get back on the hill that had those, like, large, not tombstones, but, like, marker stones. I don't know. Look at these clouds. This game is beautiful. I forgot how beautiful this game was. Like I said, this would be incredible in VR. Alright. So, we're going to call that an episode here. Like if you like it, comment if you have some other game ideas, things you'd like to see me play, or other kinds of videos, podcast topics, anything and everything you have in mind. I would love to hear from it. And subscribe for more of these videos. It is Johnny K Live. Have an awesome day.